Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Priyanka, representative of Tantra Minds. A very warm welcome to everyone to this session. We are excited to be able to bring this informative and engaging discussion today. We know your time is valuable, so we want to make the most of it. Thanks for sharing out time from your busy schedules and be the part of this webinar. Today, we are presenting creating the right space for your suppliers with Tantra Minds supplier collaboration platform. Agenda of today's webinar is to we will quickly run through our panelists, products and services. Next slide, please. Sorry for the interruption. Yeah. Agenda of today's webinar, we will quickly run through our panelists, products and services offered by Tantra Minds, challenges in supplier management, and how our platform could be the solution to these. Demo to give you the glimpse of our portal, and we will conclude this session by answering your queries. Little housekeeping before we start. Please feel free to post your queries and concerns in question box during the session, and we will address them definitely at the end in the question and answer session. So here we start. It gives me immense pleasure to get an opportunity to introduce speakers of the day. Mr. Chandan, he is the delivery head of Tantra Minds. He is IT professional with solid experience in global IT service delivery, accounts management, project program management for global clients with 20 plus years of experience. It's our pleasure to have you here, Chandan. Our other speaker, the speaker is Mr. Nitin Deshmukh. He is a leading product development team of Tantra Minds. He is the key person in terms of development, execution, and solution architect. So,
Hello all. Thank you for joining today's webinar. We are really excited to present Tantra Mind products and how they help the growing organizations like your organizations in supporting your customers, vendors, and many other things as part of our product. So hope this webinar would be very informative and would resolve or try to resolve some of your queries and questions about supplier collaboration and what kind of product we offer in the market. With that, I will just quickly talk about Tantra Mind. So who we are. So we are part of an Amdan group. Amdan Group is a technology consulting group where we provide or we specialize in SAP services, consulting as well as implementation and support services. And as a product suits or product offering, we offer it through our Tantra Mind plan. So we are so Tantra Mind is a technology product company. We offer very cutting edge products to the market, which are based on AI, ML, and the cutting edge technology. We are having expertise, as I said, with an Amdan as a group of companies. We have also a very good, more than 10 plus years of consulting experience. So we know most of the processes and which are used in different industries, manufacturing, pharma, to just few name of them. Then we have strong consulting people. So we have strong architects and development team members who know the technology to the core. And that's how we are able to deliver both processes and technologies through our products. So basically, it is a team of consulting plus technology. So that is one of our USP that we come to the market. We are just not focusing only product, but we know what are the challenges the market faces when you are integrating your ERPs or your local products, with the supplier or with the vendors. We have a global presence. Our head office for TantraMind is in UK. We have delivery center in Pune. So we are based out of Pune as an offshore delivery center and product center. We do have global presence. We have clients across Europe, South America, US, and of course in India. And then from the growth perspective, we have multiple customers who are using our products, and slowly we will get into that at the end of this. We will show you who are our products, who are our customers who are using our products. With that, I will go to the next slide. We'll try to explain our products that we bring to the market. So if you see the third product, that's where today's focus will be on the supplier portal, where we will show you how our supplier portal helps you in streamlining the business with your vendors. So basically, we have a product called TantraMind CS Collab, which is kind of a combination of customer portal as well as a supplier portal. Today, we will focus in detail within the next few slides on supplier portal. All these things also, we also have our own TantraMind ERP. It's a leading edge ERP product. It has production, finance, procurement. We also do repair management, work management. We can have a full auto, and then our focus on our ERP is basically we try to automate a lot of things when it comes for the processes. So O2C process, P2P process, procurement cycles. So we focus mainly on the automation when we deliver our ERP product. We also have an invoice management where it is mainly used by the finance and that too also account payable teams. When supplier sends their invoices, we are able to scan them, process them, do a review. If there are any corrections, we are able to send it back to the supplier, get it corrected. Then we do have a workflow in our product where we get an approvals. Once everything is approved, we are able to post the invoice into the ERP of your choice. I mean, whatever ERP you have in your organization. So this is helping us in reduction on the man efforts that are required to process large number of invoices, and also it helps in reducing the errors. And both ways, the suppliers are also happy, and then as a client, we are also happy to process these invoices faster, quicker, and without any errors. Then we also have a e-procurement suite, which is an end-to-end procurement product. We start with sourcing, creating of sourcing requests, quotations, tendering, creation of projects, etc. It also includes a P2P solution where we can give a catalog-based experience to the user. So you would have seen in B2C world where we have Amazons of the world where they give you a good experience in terms of how to select the product. So similarly, we are bringing our product which gives you a catalog-based experience in selecting and then proceeding with the order. Along with that, we do have our inventory and warehouse management product. We support both inbound, outbound processes, and it helps you manage your inventory much better. Along that, we do have our analytics products, which is kind of a pre-built analytics dashboards. So we have designed with our experience a lot of dashboards which are custom built, already ready to deploy. These are kind of a CXO level dashboards that are available. So for example, for head of sales, for CFO and others, we have. Also these dashboards are across the different products that are available. So they are compatible with 𝐒𝐿, Tableau, or any other product that you would have. And they are ready-made. So basically what happens is we just have to customize according to your need, and we are ready to go with these analytics dashboards. So that's really all in short what we have in terms of product. Again, today's focus is on supplier portal. And with that, I will hand over. I will not take much of your time because I know you have come here through your busy schedule. So I will hand it over to Nitin to walk us through the rest of the demo for the supply portal.
Yeah, thank you, Chandan sir. So, Kaushik, can you please come to the next slide? Yeah. So first of all, I would like to give some short introduction about our vendor portal. So vendor portal is also known as a supplier portal. It is a platform that allows you business to connect with and collaborate with a third-party supplier on the internet. It provides easy and secure way for the business and their supplier to keep track of the orders, raise the concerns, communicate to the portals, uh, and ensure both parties on the same page. So supplier usually register on the portal and can use it as a means to keep track of their business relationship, tracking what goods and services they have provided to the company and when they have provided and what quantity they have provided. So while the company operating the portal, company can track some data across the multiple suppliers, find the patterns and reducing the redundancies in a supply chain process. And there is a much more thing in the supplier portal. So now coming to the slide part. So here on the slide, you can see these are the modules which is available in our supplier portal. First module is sourcing management. Second is a vendor onboarding. Third is a P2P process. Fourth one is a ASN and invoice automation. And last but not least, it is a e-catalog. So these are the modules available in a supplier portal. We will see this module one by one. Also, we will provide the demo on each modules to you. Yes. So first module, which is sourcing and procurement. So in sourcing and procurement, what we are doing here, we are just creating the quotation request. So assume here we do not have any vendors in our backend ERP system, but we want to procure some material from the market, and that vendor is not registered in our backend ERP system. So our portal provide facility to register, provide the temporary registration for that vendors and create the quotations and provide create the request for quotations and send that request to the particular supplier and ask to quote their rates. So in that case, supplier will log into the portal. They receive the quotations, request for quotation. They quote their rate and send the quotations to the buyer. So two-way process is there. Buyer can negotiate their rates on the portal itself. So this is the sourcing management. And on the confirmation of the quotations, we registered the vendor in a backend in the ERP system. This is the automations we have done. And after the registration of that vendor, our portal will automatically create the purchase order for the awarded supplier. So this is the automations we have done in a sourcing and sourcing management. Then we have a onboarding. So if company wants to onboard some vendor on their industrial network or their ERP, so first they have in manual process, they have to verify the all data manually, verify their documentations, all this data, which process is manually. But using Amazon vendor portal, we send the invitations to the vendors. These are the online invitations in which our buyer will log into the portal and send the invitations to the buyer, to the supplier. Then supplier will get the mail of that invitations. Then supplier fill up all the required informations which is necessary for the registrations. And during fill up all the information, supplier can attach their documents as well. So you know that some documents which is necessary for the registration, like a GST registration certificates, PAN card number, CIN number. So all these documents supplier can attach in that registration form. And after fill up the data, supplier send back all informations to the portal. So in portal, we have implemented a workflow to approve the supplier registration form. So in that, first we sourcing user will verify the informations related to the sourcing. Then account payable user also verify the informations related to the finance sector. Then last we have another high level approval. It will approve the supplier. And after the final approval, our portal will send request to the backend ERP system to create the supplier. So here we have done the automations where our portal directly create the supplier in a ERP system without any manual intervention. Then third, we have a P2P hub. In P2P hub, so right now, what we have seen the sourcing management where we confirm the quotations using vendor onboarding. We have onboard the vendors And again, using sourcing management feature, we have created the purchase order in a backend ERP system. So using P2P hub, our portal will allow supplier to log into the portal and to see the purchase order. Also, supplier can see the other data related to the deliveries like good receipts. Vendor can see their balance, their ledger as well. We have provided facility to the vendor. They will be able to see the ledger. Also, they can reconcile their financial report monthly on our portal. So this is all about the P2P hub. Then we have a ASN and invoice automations where supplier, when supplier start the delivery of the our required material. So in that case, supplier will log into the portal, flip the PO. Our portal will generate the ASN, and supplier supplier will take the printout of that ASN. That ASN will have a QR code. So using that QR code, we have done certain automations. Using that QR code, we have automate the inbound delivery. And after the inbound delivery, it will automatically create the GR as well. So using ASN automation, we have done certain automations. And then last, we have a e-catalog. So in e-catalog, it is like an internal shopping cart where internal department user will log into the portal, and they will, if they want to procure certain material from the vendors, they will see some Amazon or Flipkart like feature. They will see the images of the materials. So that feature rarely used for the consumable materials. They can create the purchase requisitions from the portal, and our portal will turn it that requisitions to the purchase order. So this is the e-catalog features we have. So this is the short about our modules, which is available in our vendor portal. Now coming to the next slide. Hello, Kaushik.
Just a second, it seems an issue with the PPT. Just a second, yeah.
Yeah. So just a minute. So meanwhile, I'm sharing my screen. Kaushik is getting some issues while sharing the PPTs. I just share my screen. I hope my screen is visible for all of us. So first module we will see, which is sourcing management. Already I have explained what functionality we are offering to the sourcing management. We are creating the quotation request on the portal. We send those requests to the vendors. Vendor will log into the portal and quote their rate. Then then as a buyer, if I log into the portal, I can make the comparisons between multiple quotations. And on finalizations of the quotations, I will be able to create purchase order directly from our portal to the backend ERP systems. So now coming to the next slide. So, so this slide you can see, this is an old manual quotation sourcing management process, where you prepare the Excel form and send that Excel form to your supplier. Then a supplier will insert some information that form. They will quote their rate in that form. Then again, we will have to take a manual follow-up for the quotations. Okay, and after the quotation award, you have to create the purchase order manually in backend ERP system. And again, manually we have to send that purchase order to the users in the form of PDF copy through the email. So here you can see lots of the manual interventions required if we follow the traditional quotation process. There is no visibility.
Awesome.
Yeah, so now coming to the next slide. So these are the current challenges if we are following the traditional process, complete manual process of vendor collaborations. Vendor discovery is manual effort to collect the information during audit, inability to use best-in-class auction technique like Dutch, English, and Japanese they are using. Also, post-PO collaborations follow-up is also completely manual. So if we are following some traditional process where we only the manual interventions we require, we have to keep track of the Excels, we have to take a manual follow-up for the quotations. So these are the manual process, traditional process. Now coming to the next slide. So in this slide, you can see certain automation. I will explain that. So in the left hand side in this box, you can see the blue box, which is our backend ERP system. And here you can see the supplier collaboration platform. So in supplier collaboration platform, here we can see one box, which is green box, which is our buyer login. And this is our vendor A and vendor B. These are two vendors in our collaboration platform. So the activity for the sourcing management will start from creation of the purchase requisition. So here you can see user buyer will create the purchase requisitions, or any departmental user if they want any material. So they will create the purchase requisitions on backend ERP system. Through the real-time integration, we sync that purchase requisition data onto the portal. Then our portal will automatically convert this PR to the purchase request for quotations. Here buyer will assign the vendors for the quotations. So on assignment, buyer will send that quotation to the multiple vendors. So here you can see vendor A and vendor B will receive the quotations. They will able to see the request, whatever the request sent by the buyer. Then they price their rate in that quotations. After quote the rate, they will send again that quotations to the buyer. So this all activity will be happening on the vendor portal. So here on portal, buyer will receive the quotation. Again, if buyer is not satisfied with the rate, whatever rate quoted by the supplier, then buyer can ask the vendor to revise the quotation. So revision also possible on the vendor portal. So here you can see again vendor will revise their quote and send the revised quote back again to the buyer. Then here buyer will have to do one activity. Buyer will have to log the quotations. It will not allow vendors to quote after that activities. So here we log the quotation. We make the comparisons between the quotations. We are providing some comparison form where buyer can do the comparisons between multiple quotations. And after the comparison, buyer will select a particular quotations and complete the quotation request. So as soon as buyer complete the quotation request, our portal will send a data to the backend ERP system to create the purchase order. So here you can see the purchase order is creating in a backend ERP system. Again, that created purchase order will sync to the portal. So this is the creation and synchronization activity will be automatic. Then buyer will be able to see what PO is awarded. So this is the sourcing management process we are following. So the key benefits by using this process: send the quotation request, which is online. Then the release RFQ process is available if you want to if you have some workflow for the quotation. So our quotation will go through the multiple approvals. Then seamless submissions, RFP, RFQ by vendors, that facility is available. Manage RFQ response. We can manage the multiple response on this process. Log the RFQ to restrict the response. The request to the vendors for the revisions. We can revise the quotations if we are not satisfied with the rate. And award contract and release the PO. So that facilities is available. So this is all about the quotation management. So now I'm hand over to Priyanka to run the poll.
Yes.
And I'm just
Thank you
preparing
so
the
much.
system for the demo.
Yeah.
So
Before we
please share
start
your
the demonstration, this is the time for the first question. The question is on screen. Yeah. So the first question
So the first question is, are you experiencing
in
any
your current
challenges?
supplier management process? This is a
Yes, Priyanka, go on.
yeah. Just actually, I was requesting our audiences to answer the polls. So I have read out the question for them. So this is the multiple choice question. They can answer. Please go ahead.
So I hope all of you answered the questions, poll questions.
Yes, Nitin, we have received the
So yeah,
answers.
so I'm start the demo for the RFQ process. So before start the demo, I would like to explain you about the portal user structures, what roles we are maintaining on the portals. So here you can see we are maintaining three roles. One is a admin user, admin role. Second one is a business user role, and third one is a supplier roles. So under admin role, we have admin users. That user will handle all the available users on the portal, like activate the existing user, delete the existing users, change the password if they want to uh, deactivate the user, so that all this activity will be done by the admin. So we have provided the admin role for that. Under admin role, we can create the admin users. Then we have a business user roles. So under business user roles, we can configure the procurement manager 1, procurement manager 2, whatever the business user you have in your current procurement process, that users you can configure here. Here you can see the procurement head roles also available on the portal. AP clerk, if you want to give access to your account payable team, then AP clerk role will be available. And these roles are configurable. If you want to insert multiple roles, that role you can assign it, you can configure and assign it as per your requirement. And third role, we have a supplier role where we create the user IDs and passwords for the suppliers and provide the passwords through the portals to all suppliers. So on when we create the ID and password for the supplier, it will generate the email notification, and that email notification will automatically send to the suppliers. And every suppliers will have their unique ID and password. They will log into the portal and they will be able to see the data only related to their. They're not able to see the data of other suppliers. So this is the role structures we have. So now coming to the next slide. So during the RFQ demo, we are using two suppliers, supplier 1 and supplier 2. This is the credentials of that supplier. So this is our radius system, which is our first supplier. And second is a Travis Parkins. And here in the left-hand side, we can see the buyer role. So on portal, these activity we are going to do. Buyer create the request and add the two supplier 1 and supplier 2 in that request. Then buyer publish the quotation. Supplier will log into the portal, quote their rate, and submit the quotation. Also, then buyer ask for the revisions. Then supplier again submit their revised quotation. Then buyer log the quotation, do the comparison, and based on the comparison, our portal will automatically create the purchase order, and that purchase order will be automatically synced to the portal. So this is this part we are going to show in the demo. So I'm sharing my screen. Uh, So this is the login screen of our vendor portal. Also we call as a supplier portal. Here we are maintaining the different user IDs and password. So first of all, I want to create the quotation request. I'm login as a buyer. So these are the credentials for the buyer. I'm login as a buyer. So after login, I will be landed on this dashboard. So I will explain it one by one. So first of all, we will see the RFQ process. So I'm click on the RFQ. Then other part, inbox, captured invoices, vendor registration, I will explain it later. So right now I'm click on the RFQ. So as a buyer, I want to create the quotation request. I click on the new tab. So here we can see the requested and drafted quotations I can see. So if I want to send that quotations to the buyer, I just have to click on the more details button. So already we have created some quotations, but I will create a new quotations for the demo. So here we have button. After click on that button, I will be landed on this page. Here I will have to fill up some informations which is necessary. The RFQ date, purchase organizations, currency, the quotation deadline. Here I have selecting the 26 for the quotation deadline. And if you want to insert some comments, you can add it here. So after that, just I'm saving the quotations. So here you can see the item section. So here I'm going to add the items. So once I'm adding the items, here you can see one selection button is there. So I'm selecting the items. I want to procure some steel sheets. So I just selecting the steel sheets. Here I'm adding the target quantity, whatever I require. Here I'm selecting the units. I'm selecting here kg. Sorry. Then price unit is 1. Delivery date I'm expecting which is 27. So after click on save, here you can see the assign vendors. So if I click on that tab, I'm going to add the vendors. So in the last previous screen, I have shown what vendors we are going to use here. So I'm just typing the name of that vendors. So radius system I'm using here. Then second vendors I'm using here, which is our Travis Parkings. Yeah. So now I have added the vendors. So if I have some documents like a design, so if that documents, if you have, and if I want to send that documents to the vendors, so here we have given the document sections. So you can assign your designs, what your current exact requirement, what the parameters you want for that material. You can upload the documents here. So I'm just uploading the any documents. So right now I have one documents that I want to give the suppliers. They will review the document, and after review they will submit their quotations. So here you can see I can assign the document name here, remarks. If I want to give here, I can give the remarks. So if my document stored in on cloud or in the Google Drive, then I can assign the link, directly paste the link here. And here from here I can select the documents. So I'm just selecting any documents, click on save. So once I click on save, the document will be attached automatically. So right now I have created the quotations. Now I'm going to publish the quotations. So before publish, it will ask. So I'm click on this. So right now I have published the quotations. So now my role as a supplier, I want to quote the best rate in that quotation. So I'm logging as a Radius. So this is the ID and password for the Radius system. So after login, I can see the RFQ tab. So after login, I will be landed to this page. So this is the supplier dashboard, where we have a change management, captured invoice, e-catalog like features, then RFQ, purchase order, dispatches, and invoice and reports. So right now I'm click on the RFQ. Just I have sent one request for the quotation. So this is the request. Here I can see the today's date, and this is my quotation deadline date. So as a supplier, I'm going to quote my rate. So here I can see the material. So if I click on the quote button, here you can see the quote button. As a supplier, I'm adding the quantities here. I'm adding the 100 quantities. I'm adding the net price, which is 100 per kg. If here, from here, I can select the payment terms. And here, from here, I'm selecting the delivery date. So if I click on the save, then quotation will be submitted automatically. So as a Radius, I have submitted the quotations, but we have added 2 vendors. So right now I'm logging as a second vendor, which is our Travis Parkings. Again, I'm following the same process. I log in, click on the RFQ. So here I can see the request button. After click on that, the quotation will be available at the end. Again, I'm click on the quote. So from here, I'm adding the quantity 100 again, but price here I'm adding 110, which is 10 rupees more than the first price. From here, I'm adding the payment terms. This is my delivery date. Yeah. So right now, both vendor have submitted their quotations. Now buyer has to check, and if buyer want to revise the quotations, then we can revise it. So I'm logging as a buyer. So after login, again, I'm click on the RFQ section. So whatever the quotation submitted by the buyers, that quotation will be automatically visible in a request tab. So here, this is my quotation. If after click on that, and if I click on the quote, I can see the quoted rates here. So here you can see the quantity of quotations, target quantity, the net price. The first vendor quoted 100 and second vendor is quoted 110. So I'm not satisfied with the rate and I want to revise the rate. So from here I can request the vendors for the revision. So for time being, I'm just sending request for a 110, which is our Tramins parkings for the revision. So from here, I just have to insert some comments. Please reduce the rate. And whatever rate you want, I'm just adding here. I want the rate up to 110. So once I click on save, our portal will send the email notifications to the supplier to revise the rate. So right now I'm a login as a Travins parking to revise my rate as a supplier. So again, I'm logging to the system. Again, I'm selecting the credentials. From here, I'm just check the request. So this is the request. So if I click on the revisions, I can see. So the buyer comments, please revise and reduce the rate. So if I click on the quote button, I reduce the rate, but I can reduce the rate up to 110, 115, 105, sorry. Click on save. So right now buyer has, supplier has revised the quotations. Now buyer has to take the decisions, what quotations they have to final. So as a buyer, I'm again log into the system and log the quotations. So after locking the quotations, no vendor can quote their rates. Means the RFQ will be open until buyer log the quotations. So again, I'm click on the request tab. Again, so this is my quotations. So here you can see, just I have received the best rate from the buyer. Just we revise the rate. So that revised rate will be available here. If we want to see the revision history, so revision history will be there. Whatever revisions has been done on that quotations. So right now I'm logged the quotations for the comparison. So now I have logged the quotations. That quotation will automatically move to the request, another tab, which is respond tab. Again, I'm click on the respond. So here I can see the responded quotations. So from here, so from here I can compare the multiple quotations. So right now I received the two quotation and I want to make the comparison. I'm just selecting the line item, selecting the quotations which I received, and here you can see the compare button. So as I click on the compare button, I can compare the quotations here. So these are the quotation comparison. So comparison form. So here you can compare the net price, gross value, delivery date, payment terms, and quantities. And after the comparison, I'm awarding the quotation to this vendors, which is our radius. And I'm selecting the vendors, which is selected. And from follow on document, I click on that. And here I can create the info record. I can create the purchase order directly. So right now I'm click on the purchase order. As soon as I click on the purchase order, our portal will send request to the backend ERP system, which is our SAP. It could be any other ERP. That ERP will automatically create the purchase order, and that created purchase order again will be synced to our portal. So this is all about the quotations. So Kaushik, can you share your screen? Yeah. Kaushik is getting some issues. I'm going to share my screen again. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, before we jump to the another demo, Nitin, please allow me to
Yeah.
have
Yes,
another
Niranjan,
poll.
please.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for the product demo you have enlightened us till now. So yes, we have the second poll question on our screens. Yeah. Which process automation are you looking in your organization? It is a multiple choice question again. So vendor onboarding, invoice automation, sourcing or auction process, ASN GR creation process. Please make your choices. We'll hold for a moment to let everyone answer this.
Yeah. I hope all of you answered the question so that I can proceed for the next.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so just we have seen the sourcing management where we create the quotations. So next process will be the vendor onboarding where we are sending the invitations to the supplier. Supplier will attach the KYC documents there, and after attach the documents, in our portal it will trigger the workflow to approve the registration form of the suppliers, and on approval it will automatically creates the vendors in a backend ERP system that we are going to see in the demo. So just I'm sharing again my portal screen. Allow me some time to just. Yes, just a minute. I need some time to. I hope my screen is visible for all of us.
Not yet. Do you
Yeah.
need some assist?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is there. Thank you.
So as a buyer, I'm sending the invitations for the registration on the portal. So right now I'm a login as a buyer to create the invitations. So after login, I can see the vendor registration tab here. After click on that, I can see the tiles available under the registrations. So on registrations, what I'm going to do, I'm just sending the invitations to the vendors for the onboarding. So if I click on the add vendor button, so after click on the new button, I will be able to see the invited vendors, which is awaiting for their submissions. So if I want to send the new invitations, I just have to click on that add buttons. Once I click on the add button, I will be landed to this page. So for here, I have to insert some informations, which is our first name of the vendors. So right now I'm adding my name is here. So here I have to add the email of that vendor so that we can send the email notifications for the registration on this email. So here I'm adding the phone number. And here from here I'm adding company name. So I'm adding the radius system that vendors I have to add here. So once I fill up all the informations, I can see two buttons. One is a save and second is an invoice. So if I click on the save button, so that form will be saved as a draft. And if you want to invite that vendors in the future, we just open this form and click on the invite button. So for the demo, I just click on the invite button. So once I click on the invite, our portal will send the email notifications to the vendors. and that email notifications we will get through the emails. So just I'm sharing my email screen, what notifications we give. So I'm just typing the invitations. Yes, so this is the invitation link as a vendor I will get. So if I click on that link, just a minute, hold on. So once I click on that link, it will open the registration form. I will show you the how this registration form will look like. So once vendor will fill up all the required information, that registration form will look like this. So vendor has to fill up the first name, last name, email address, company informations, registered office address, trading address, then financial informations vendor have to attach there, like account holder name, bank account number, bank name, branch name, IFSC code. And if so in document section, vendor can attach their documents as well. So once vendor fill up all the required informations, vendor submit the informations. That submitted information will automatically view in this tab, which is our submissions tab. Here as a buyer, if I want to approve that information, I click on the approve button. Same button we can see at the bottom of this page. From here we can accept the form or we can reject the forms. And once I accept the form, again our portal will send email notifications for the next approver. Our next approver, which is our account payable users. So that form will automatically be into the approved sections. So from here again, when users which belong to the account payable team, which log into the portal, and after login, it will click on the approve tab. From here, you can see the awaiting for account payable approval. So from here, account payable user will verify the informations which is related to the finance. Okay, it will verify the documents as well if supplier attach any documents here, required documents. And from that link, the account payable user also can download these attachments. And after verify the information, that information will automatically move to the next approver. So our next approver will be a high level authority. So from here, he will verify the informations, and after verify the informations, fill up some required information, which is the account group, whatever account group you are using. If you are following the external number range, if you are using the SAP, then you can insert the external number range here, external number which you want to assign to the vendors, and some which is some necessary informations related to the tax, withholding tax informations. As a user, I can add here. Then company details, the product details, if you want to assign the product category, procurement details. So all these informations I will add here. And after accept the information, our portal will send the request to the backend ERP system to create the vendors. So like that, this feature will work on this on our portal. So now I'm coming to the slide pack. Yeah. So this is our vendor onboarding features. So we have seen the sourcing and procurement vendor onboarding. So right now we will see the P2P hub. So on P2P hub, we are offering some facilities where vendor can log in. They will be able to see the purchase order, good receipts, payment related informations. Then vendor will be able to see their ledger as well. And also vendor can reconcile their monthly statement. So again, I'm logging to the portal. Sorry. Again, I'm logging as a buyer. So sorry, I'm logging as a supplier. I click on the login button. So after login, I will be landed on this page. So as a supplier, I want to see what purchase order raised by the company. That purchase order I will be seeing in the purchase order tab. So here I can see the open button. So open button indicates that that purchase order is open. Means they want to deliver. If suppliers want to deliver the materials, they will be able to see the open purchase order in open types. If I click on that, so here you can see the list of open purchase order. So if I click on the more details button, so I can see the details view of the purchase order. So here I can see the purchase order number, vendor name, and the item informations that I want to procure. Okay, if you have a service purchase order, then service purchase order related service will be available in the service sections. So this is our only the material purchase order. So if I want to show you the service purchase order. So this is the service purchase order, and that line item related services, if I want to see, I click on the service tab. So here I can see the services I want to procure from the vendors. Okay. So as a vendor, I can see the purchase order, but now I want to deliver the material. So our portal is offering facility to create the ASN or invoice from the portal directly. So here you can see the invoice button or ASN button will be appear in front of the purchase order. And if I want to send the material of this purchase order and I want to generate the ASN document or invoice document on the portal, I just have to click on that button. Our portal will automatically generate the ASN document. Here supplier has to fill up some required informations. Here supplier will fill up their invoice number, which is whatever invoice number they have. Supplier will fill up the ship from locations. They are shipping from the Mumbai to Pune, delivered to Pune. If supplier has some packing slip ID of that material, they can add the packing slip ID number here and the shipping date. So from here, I'm selecting the shipping date, delivery date, on which date supplier is going to deliver this material. So after that, I just have to add the purchase order line items. So you know that I have clicked on the invoice button, which is available in front of the purchase order. This is my purchase order. From here, I can select the line items which is available. Okay. So after that, after fill up all the information, I click on the invoice quantity, what invoice quantity I want to deliver. So if I click on the OK, our portal will automatically generate the portal generated invoice. That and then again our portal will send email notifications to the buyers. It will indicate that supplier has initiated the delivery. So like that, supplier can create the invoice on the portal itself. Then we have another sections which is good receipts. So for example, we receive the material and we have posted the good receipt. That posted good receipt will be available on the portal. As a buyer, as a supplier, if I want to see what material received by the buyer, so that material, that good receipt I can see. Then I will get assurance that this material has been delivered. Then we have an invoices report. Means, obviously we received the material from the buyer and we have to supplier buyer. We have, as a buyer, I want to pay that supplier. So for that, we are creating some transaction in our backend ERP system, like posting incoming invoices. So once we post any invoices, supplier invoices, our SAP will send data to the portal, and that posted invoices will be available on the portal. So as a supplier, I want to see what invoices booked in the company's ERP system. Then as a supplier, I can see those invoices. Then we have an overdue and outstanding report. If supplier want to see their ledgers by the dates, monthly ledger, they can just click on the overdue and outstanding. If they click on the more detail button, so they will be able to see this page. So from this page, the supplier can understand how much net amount due, how much net amount is get cleared, how much invoices is open. It is a complete ledgers which is available on the portal. And from here, supplier can filter it as per the dates. So this is the ledgers we are offering. The next feature is that the reconciliations. If supplier want to reconcile their monthly statement, they just log into the portal. So here we have given the facility for the reconciliations. So if I click on the more details button, so from here we have given two buttons. So if supplier click on the download template button, our portal will download one template, Excel template. Supplier has to fill up their transactional data in that template and upload that template to the portal. So here you can see on the left hand side, which the invoice which I received from the supplier supplier uploaded invoice, we can see on the left hand side. And on the right hand side, we can see the invoice that we have posted in the backend ERP system. So we can do the comparisons between supplier statement and our statement, whatever invoice we booked in our system. And if the invoice is missing in our system, then it will show the status here that invoice is missing. So this invoice is getting matched. So like the reconciliation features our portal is offering. So then if you have some rejection reports, that rejection reports also we are showing on the portals. If I click on the QA report, it will show the reports, rejection reports. These are the rejection reports. Again, also we are vendor. If you want to check the vendor performance, then we are giving the supplier rating report, where the different departments from your organizations will rate in terms of deliveries, in terms of quality of the materials. Then vendor will be able to see their performance report. So this is the performance report our portal is offering, where you can see the Radius system is supplying this material and what rating the supplier will get from the company in terms of delivery, mean quality of that material, then premium freight. So all these criteria you can see here. So these all features our portal is offering through the vendor portal. Yeah, so I will hand over to Priyanka.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nitin, for the demonstration and enlighten us about this, its benefits and how it would be the great suit for the challenges we have talked about before. So, hello attendees, thanks for sticking around. I would like to request last poll we wind up this session. So, yeah, the last and the quick poll for you. Are you interested in one-to-one demo for our supply collaboration platform? Please make your choices. Thank you so much for the answers you have put on. Deep gratitude to the attendees. Thank you so much for joining us for our webinar. We appreciate your participation. Your questions and comments actually added value to this. So before winding it up, I would like to request Nitin to go through the questions they have posted. So if you can answer a few of them, please.
So first questions we received, how different this product is compared to the Ariba and Project Tiger. Yeah, so our portal is offering same features like Ariba is offering, and as if we compare the price with related with Ariba, so our product is less expensive than Ariba, and whatever the features offering through the Ariba, the all features available on our portal. So if you want to the RFQ features, auction related features, so all these features available. The second questions we received is this can be used for the agro commodity from mandi or farmer in the quotations reverse or based on the percentage bidding. Yes, so our system is totally configurable. So if you want to use same product from in the agro sector, you can use it. And if you want to make some modifications, the product is completely configurable. We can configure the product as per your requirement. Yeah. So yes, 2 questions we received. I hope you are satisfied with the answers.
Yes, thank you so much, Nitin, for addressing them. Thank you so much, panelists, for your valuable insights on this webinar. So I would like to request all the attendees to please make a note of our contacts. If you have any concerns, please get back to us and we will be happy to help you with our innovative products, definitely. So please feel free to contact us for any queries. And this our contact details has been mentioned here. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much.